Hey my fired up friends, and welcome back to my channel, Inner Flame Wellness. My name is Jenny and I am a certified primal health coach, and today I'm going to show you how to make a roasted, slow cooked chicken soup. Alright, let's begin. Starting with prepping a few vegetables. Take a small half head of cabbage and chop into thick, even pieces. If there are any pieces that are particularly big, especially around the stalk, cut them down to smaller pieces. Take 4 peeled carrots and cut them into thick, even chunks. The vegetables I like using in this soup are quick to prep and easy to chop. Feel free to use whatever vegetables you like, but be careful of using any that turn to mush if they're slow cooked for too long. Cabbage, carrot, and onion tend to hold their shape pretty well. Next, dice 2 onions into thick, even pieces. Add your chopped cabbage, carrot, and onion to a glass baking dish. Drizzle on a light layer of olive oil. I also like to add additional seasonings at this stage to bring up more flavor. I use a mix of celery salt, onion powder, garlic powder, dried parsley, lemon pepper, salt, and black pepper. As you can see, I don't measure things out exactly because I have a pretty good idea on how much I like to use. But my general rule is, as long as you do a light, even sprinkle across the surface of the dish, it should be just enough and not too much. Keep in mind that you can always add more later after everything's cooked. If I had to guess though, I'd say it's roughly between 1 to 2 teaspoons of each seasoning. Follow your taste buds and use whatever herbs and seasonings you prefer. Give it all a toss to mix everything together. Next, add your seasoned chicken on top of your bed of vegetables. If you haven't watched my How to Season a Chicken video, you should. It's pretty nifty. I'll leave a link in the description below. In a preheated oven set to grill with the oven rack in the middle, you're going to roast your chicken for 5 minutes. Make sure you set a timer, otherwise it's really easy to forget and then you burn your chicken. In the meantime, I start prepping my slow cooker. If you use a water filter like we do, start filling your slow cooker up so that you have a chance to refill your water filter to top up the slow cooker later on. And if you don't use one, you can fill the slow cooker after everything is added. I like to add a splash of apple cider vinegar as the acid helps pull out more nutrients and minerals from the chicken as it's slowly cooking. I also add a sprinkle of turmeric. Did you know that curcumin, which is the active compound in turmeric, is what gives turmeric its anti-inflammatory properties? And if you ever use turmeric, make sure to combine it with some black pepper, because the active compound found in black pepper, which is called piperine, helps enhance the absorption of curcumin. Once your timer goes off, pull out your chicken. Look for a nice dark golden brown color. At this stage, I give the veggies a quick toss and I flip the bird. And then it goes back in the oven for another 5 minutes. While I'm waiting for that, I like to slice up some cloves of garlic and a nub of ginger. And depending if you're a garlic lover like me, I use about 6 to 8 cloves. Use less if you think that's too much for you. With the ginger, I peel off the skin using a potato peeler and then I cut it into big, thick chunks. I love the flavor that the garlic and ginger adds to this soup, but it's a bonus that both of these ingredients are awesome in helping boost your immune system. Once your second timer goes off, pull out your chicken and turn off your oven and add your whole chicken to the slow cooker. I like to mix the sliced garlic and ginger to the vegetables so they get evenly tossed into everything. And I also add 1 to 2 bay leaves for added flavor. Add all the vegetables and any juices from the baking dish to the slow cooker on top and around your chicken. Add more water to top up your slow cooker. I leave about 1 inch from the top, but you may want to have a lower water line. Just make sure to check the instructions that came with your slow cooker. If you have a small slow cooker and you can't fit a whole chicken, that's okay. A great alternative is to use chicken drumsticks and wings. You can also add fewer amounts of vegetables. Cover your slow cooker and set it on low. You're going to let this cook all day, or you can prep this in the evening and cook it overnight. Alright, so I'm back in the kitchen and my chicken soup has been cooking all day in the slow cooker. It smells amazing. I'm going to take the chicken out now and let it cool for maybe 15-20 minutes, and I'm going to separate the meat from the bones and add the meat back to the soup, and then it'll be ready to eat. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do this. I find a pair of tongs and a flat metal spatula handy tools for fishing out my chicken. I brush off as many vegetables as I can and tip out the juices. Oops, I lost my drumsticks. That's okay, I'll fish them out as well. I also like to fish out the bay leaves and the ginger at this stage because they have served their purpose. Once the chicken is cool enough to handle, pull the meat off the bones. I use a separate discard bag to collect the bones, and at this stage the meat should just be falling off. I tend to start with the drumsticks, the thighs, and then the wings, and then I'll take the rib cage off and pull the breast meat for last. Also, the skin and cartilage, we love it all. That's where the most collagen is, which is the good stuff. So I also break that up and add it to the soup as well. Once everything is separated, add the meat back to the soup, give it a stir, and it's ready to enjoy. Okay, so that is how I make my roasted, slow-cooked chicken soup, and I am so excited to dig into this. Just to give you an idea, this is my favorite way to make a chicken soup just because of how well all the flavors come together. It's easy, minimal food prep, which is totally my jam. Roasting your chicken and the vegetables ahead of time just imparts this really nice smoky flavor. The broth is just so rich and full of flavor. I love that the vegetables are really tender, they're not overly mushy, and the chicken just melts in your mouth. Because this cooking all day and all these ingredients coming together for several hours, this is really just my favorite way to make chicken soup. I don't know if anyone else is a fan of this, but I quite like the cartilage and how it gets a bit softer. But this is also another reason why I like to make this soup once a week, because I like having a constant source of bone broth in my diet, because bone broth is incredibly good for your gut. All the nutrients in bone broth are super beneficial to us and healing our bodies. It's really good for healing your gut lining, it's good for your own joints, your hair, your skin. This soup is like the ultimate bowl to make when it's cold out or if you're not feeling well, just because of all the good stuff in it. You've got garlic and ginger that have immune boosting properties, you've got the goodness of the bone broth, and then the vegetables and free-range chicken. It's really hard to beat. Incorporating those two steps, seasoning your chicken and letting it sit, and then also roasting the chicken with your vegetables, it really does something to this soup. So hopefully by making this video, I've shown you that cooking good food does not have to be hard. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because it is your support that makes all the difference, and I really do appreciate it. If you get around to making this recipe, please let me know in the comments below what you think, and hopefully this is the best chicken soup that you have ever made. Alright, so I'm gonna go sit down and enjoy the rest of my soup. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye! Best chicken soup ever.